This is Jim Sporer with ISSIP, and it's a pleasure to be talking to one of our ISSIP ambassadors from Norway, Tor Andreassen, who is at NHH in Bergen, Norway, one of the most beautiful cities in the world, I can attest, after being kindly invited there on a couple of occasions. And we had the Frontiers in Service conference one year in Bergen. That was great, and other visits. And Tor kindly put me on his advisory board for one of his research centers in the past. So I had plenty of opportunity to visit the beautiful city of Bergen. And Tor and I've just spent the last hour having a fantastic conversation about so many topics. And I know we want to just have you introduce yourself a little better, Tor, and share with us some of the things, amazing things that you're thinking about these days. I would really, there's so much, as you started the digital transformation hub there, the Center for Service Innovation. You've accomplished so much, and I would just like to hear what's new and exciting. Tor, over to you.
Thank you, Jim. It's like you're one of the rare individuals who, when I start engaging in a conversation, I start taking notes. So I immediately become the student. This is a return of the compliment. I mean, you're so inspiring to talk to me, and thank you again for inviting me, and also letting me be like an ISSIP ambassador. And I will try to do my very best. I am, as you know, and as yourself, I'm a sucker for services. I mean, I spent entire academic life in services, and I totally enjoyed that, and meeting people like yourself and other eminent thinkers, and in that. And it took me to where I am now in my life and also in my career. Then I was fortunate to been hired by the business school here in Bergen, Norway School of Economics. That put me on the track of service innovation, which was a nice segue from the quality, satisfaction, loyalty, return on all the stuff there, and into and it was in fact you, Jim, who are the reason for this. And so you are the person in crime. It was the service science initiative that you launched while being at IBM. I honestly didn't quite get service science, but I got the innovation part of it, and I said that I can make to my area of interest, my new area. So in one way of like inventing myself, I jumped on that ship and became a student and started reading up on that literature that took me to where I am. And I came on board with the pure idea of developing service innovation research. And we were given a huge grant by the Norwegian government, about $10 million, looking at it for over 10 years. And it took us really down the road there. And the partners we had was really excited about it, the journey. And quite frankly, as an mentor, it's not the papers that you're writing that fascinates us. It's the journey, it's the dialogue, the conversation, the way along the road. And when you get to your paper and it's published, we're not interested anymore, but we want to be on the journey. So when they asked us to apply again to the government, and we didn't get the grant this time, they said, don't worry, we're going to put the money down, which started this current research project. So standing on the shoulder of Center for Service Innovation, we created this new monster we call the Digital Innovation for Sustainable Growth, which is a research center, national research center with very high ambitions. And thanks to your advice and other eminent thinkers that was on the advisory board, you put us on the right track. And we now landed on something that really fascinates industry. So that is the research center.
And I'll just mention that, in our previous conversation, we were talking about how this pandemic has accelerated the digital transformation of the world. So many things are online, healthcare, courts, education. So what a fantastic time for Norway to be taking a hard look at this digital transformation to more of a service economy, because the oil runs out eventually, right? And you got to have other exports as well.
True, and you're absolutely right. When the pandemic to me was a phenomenal change agent. It was a medical catastrophe, but it was a change agent of a different time space. It's like when we couldn't, or we didn't dare to for medical reasons, or we didn't for convenience reasons, we didn't seek out the suppliers. The suppliers had to come to us, and that's where the digital solution came up. Suddenly the paradigm of co-creation of value can happen at the distance. Okay, we can do this at a distance, which was just been phenomenal. And we see, over the years, over the 2 years now, that the digital competence in Norway and the Norwegian population has increased significantly, which increases the appetite for more digital solutions. So this is just like a monster that started rolling, and it was just keep up speed. The sad thing is that we're behind the curve on research. So we need to gear up ourselves. And this is why it's important for researchers to come together and we start diving into this thing here and be in forefront, at least parallel to businesses, because they are dire need of understanding this complex decision. And also, if you inject AI, machine learning into this equation, wow, we have to speed up, and there's no time to sleep anymore. We have to run. So this was it. And also, so we had a research center, and then another company came to us, and I think that was a smart. They asked us this. So one thing is research, and it's good for you guys, but you need to find an arena where you can disseminate the information to society quicker than through the lecture halls in the business school. So they gave us, I think it was $100,000 to create what they call the Digital Transformation Hub. It's basically a network arena, dissemination arena, a training arena for leaders who are in the midst of this digital transformation. And then, of course, we have the business school, like our master classes. But this is catching up. And I think we're also looking at the new way of organizing research at the business schools, not only like you and me sitting together writing a paper, but doing it together with leading companies. And quite frankly, we shouldn't look at companies as a threat or controlling our research or thinking. They are partners in crime. And there's so much eminent thinking going out there in the companies, man. So it's just I look at them as partners.
And I know you're starting this class. It's going to be multi-week. I think I'm one of your guest lecturers in October of 2022, and Roland Rust as well.
Yeah.
So we're certainly looking forward to that, and wish you well with this new endeavor, the Digital Transformation Hub. And thanks for spending just a few minutes to help the ISSIP community get to know you a little bit better, Tor, and sure we'll be in touch in the future. Thank you so much.
I'm so proud to be a part of this thing here, and also be in touch with you, Jim. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Tor. I will stop the recording.